evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be back with you guys on another beautiful summer evening here in the Chicagoland area, and hopefully you guys are having great weather wherever you are. I have another action-packed show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. As you guys all know, I deem this the month of health, wellness, and good energy. It actually is Mental Health Awareness Month, or just Mental Well-Being Awareness Month, I should say. And tonight is no exception to the rule. My co-host this evening is an amazing young lady that she and I have been knowing each other for a number of years. And the funniest thing, we were talking back in the green room, or the other green room, about how did we even get to know each other, but we've been friends for many, many years. She's a former police officer turned flight attendant, and now she's an entrepreneur. We'll meet her in just a few moments. And then later on in the show, we'll talk about really easy and simple steps you can do to help you reduce the stress in your life. As you guys all know, we've been quarantined now since March, and whether you put on quarantine or you chose to stay in quarantine, stress is one of those things that can really get you. So tonight we're going to share some of our secrets and tips on how to reduce stress. And then our last segment tonight addresses, how is your love language? How well do you talk to your boo thing, your significant other, your mate? So tonight we're going to talk about ways to increase your love language techniques. Believe it or not, there's a madness to you being able to talk right to the person you're with or trying to talk to. All right. So let me go ahead and bring in our guest co-host tonight. As I said before, you guys, she is a former law enforcement officer. She is currently a flight attendant. She's recently started a business. It's all about pivoting during this pandemic. And her business concept and idea, I think, is so unique and so apropos for the times that we're currently going through. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show, fashion model, police officer, flight attendant. She sounds just like me. That's why we're friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the amazing Miss Terry Bell. Yay. Oh, and alluring. Looky. Oh my. Oh, hey Terry.
What's up, Chat Daddy Baby Art? Hi.
Hey,
Or should I say,
honey, how are you?
I'm good, or should I say
No,
good evening?
no.
Welcome aboard, Chat Daddy.
On this show, we drink, we have a good time, we tell the truth, we might lie a little bit. Look, Terry, this is just like an evening of you and I hanging out, kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
And now it's just virtual. The world can watch you and I kick it. How you been, sweetheart?
I have been amazing. It is so good to see you and that you are amazing and doing your thing still, baby. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, darling. I love you so very much. Terry, do me a favor. You and I were kind of joking about, we were trying to figure out exactly where we met, when it was. But the cute part about this, we've really been friends double-digit years now.
Yes. And isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
Yes. Let me ask you this. Where do you think was the first place you and I ever met each other?
The only reason that I'm pretty 97% sure that it was Taste Entertainment Nightclub.
63rd and low, baby. 63rd and low. Yes.
The low.
Yes.
And my backstory is my son is named Terry. My ex-husband is Terry, and I'm Terry. And Terry Bell of Budweiser, hometown distributor, which was my uncle as well. Exactly. So it was Terry Bell and Terry Bell doing the Budweiser thing. And every time I looked up, I would see your beautiful, always smiling, handsome face, always positive, Art. You were at everything that we were at. And then we just started talking one night, and it had to be Taste because we were there a lot for Budweiser promotions. And you just started talking to me, and it was like we had known each other our whole lives.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited to have you here tonight because I feel as if you could give so much insight to my listening audience. Not only have you been in law enforcement, you're a former model, you're currently a flight attendant. And I just think with everything that is going on in the world right now, and you're an entrepreneur, you've started a new business. I just thought you'd be the most multifaceted guest we could have on this show this evening. So before we talk about your background, let's talk about this new business you've started.
All right. And again, Art, it is my new business name is Runway 421. I am making custom masks, either custom, handmade, hand sewn with matching fans. And how this came about, I haven't flown since March when all of this pandemic started. I got out on medical leave, and we'll talk about that as this is Mental Health Awareness Month as well, for my mental health reasons that I was experiencing panic attacks and anxiety, thinking about going back into this new world that we have, which is now we know COVID-19. So in the meantime, I'm asking my flight attendant friends that are still flying, you guys, what's going on out there? What is it? That mask is so hot, so hot. And I'm like, oh my God, so what are you using to cool down? Girl, you know I'm reaching in that seat back pocket and pulling out that safety briefing card to fan. And I'm like, oh no, I can't be on that plane and I'll tell you about the nickname Runway too, but I can't do that. I am not using a safety card to fan. Light bulb, fans, and you know I gotta be glam. Art, you know me, I'm gonna be glam wherever I am. So face mask that match my fan.
You know
And
what,
same way
Terry?
came. What?
I love it. I think it's the most
Yeah.
unique idea ever. When I saw it on your Instagram, I said, "Who? This is an ingenious idea because not only flight attendants, but you got the church mothers, you got anybody
Yes.
of a certain age. You know, I told you I need a couple of them fans that
And
we have our own personal summers, even in the summertime, and to be able to
Art.
flip a fan out to match my mask. Oh my God, I'm in heaven. Are you kidding me?
And right. And so the nickname Runway was in training. And you and Art, again, when I found out, when I met you, I wasn't doing any of this. And you were a flight attendant.
Yes,
And in training, you know how, you simulate everything. Everything is simulated. So I would simulate closing the bins and walking down the aisle, checking the safety checks. But I'm like, it's the Terry show when I'm on a plane because I look way too cute in this uniform not to be profiling and styling down that aisle. So one of my good girlfriends, she's with the major airlines as well, named me Runway. And she was like, girl, when you walk down that aisle, it's just your runway. I am closing bins. And I used to tell my students, I teach flight attendants as well, it's all about the flair. When you closing those bins, that's how you get their attention. You know what I mean?
that's
So
right.
they don't want to
That's
wear a mask on a plane. Art, they don't want to wear a mask on a plane. You know what? They're going to be when I pop out mine. They should get
right.
that. Oh my God. Well, you know what? You got to wear the mask to get the fan.
Yes, yes. I love it. I do. I think it's the most
So,
ingenious thing ever. And here's the deal, Terry. This is not just going to go away next week. It's not going to go
no,
away
it's not.
the year. And as we start to
It's
go
not.
back into normal life, people are going to they're going to want to coordinate their outfits with their masks. People thought I was
Right.
crazy when the pandemic first started, and I would go places and buy these little masks and put a paper mask behind it, but or
Yes.
cloth mask. But the deal
Yes.
is that you are going to have to go back maybe to church or
Yes.
wherever and wear a mask, and you're going to need that fan. Ingenious idea, my friend. Really. So
Thank
how's the
you.
business been going so far?
Art, and because of my friends, my flight attendant family, anybody that I know out there, I'm a dinosaur. They know, and they laugh at me all the time. I don't do a lot of Facebook. I'll stock and I do all of that. A good friend of mine, Kim the Ambassador Haynes, is been one of my biggest supporters, other than my son, of course, and my flight attendant family, and anybody else that knows that I'm doing this. But she posted it on Facebook. Next thing I know, ding, boom, bam, people are hitting me up. I sold out before I even realized what I was doing, Art. So everything that I posted, I'm sold out, and it's just it another light bulb went off that what they don't teach us in school is to be an entrepreneur. COVID
Right.
has taught me to be an
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be out there fighting. We already had to fight people about cell phones and seat belts. Now I got to fight you about your mask. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I
Right.
need to figure out another way. I love my job. I love being a flight attendant, but I had to generate more income because who knew in March if we were ever going to go back to work? Who knew if they were going to ground the planes? You know what I mean? I didn't know what was going to happen with my job. And then I'm talking to the flight attendants that were flying. What's going, girl, it's hot. And what are you using? A safety. Nope, we ain't using no safety cards. So
Right. Right.
again,
Again, and
it's
that's something that everybody putting their hands all over on the airplane is the safety car.
oh, thank you. I didn't even think about that. And it's by your face. And then again, so now it's just I started once I found the and it was this ain't more than a notion, y'all. Being an entrepreneur, I give y'all much respect. It is more than a notion to get up, do what you're supposed to do, get it done, and be timely about it. So once I figured out how to make the mask where I was comfortable to do it, and produce a good, then it was I started posting pictures. I made the fans, and it just thank God that everybody was just so supportive, and they have been. I'm getting orders now as we speak.
I love
So
it. I
yeah, I
do.
am.
I do.
I'm so excited.
Well, because August is Black biz Black Business Month. You were one of the reasons why I chose you to be on tonight as well,
Wow.
too, because I
Wow.
just think what an ingenious idea. Because I think we should support it. I'm sure people who are listening and
Yes.
following this show, as well as people who watch the encore shows, will definitely support you
Yes.
in order the fans. And what I love is that you make all different type of patterns and styles, and
Yes.
you even are sending me one that's a more masculine type of fan,
Yes.
and
Yes.
mask. And I just think it's great because look, I have private summers all the time. I may have one before this show is over.
Wait, I keep one by my nightstand because again, I can just reach over and I can be half sleeping cute. You
Right.
know what I mean? And it
Right.
was just again, how many times have we went to reach for something in the drawer or was close and just keep this on your nightstand, keep one in wherever it matches your mask. And then now keys, mask, fan. If I get hot, I got my fan. You know what I mean? And then too, we can be stylish with this because, like you said, this is not going anywhere. It's
No.
not going anywhere anytime soon. And I definitely want to not only again, I wanted to figure out a way to uh, cool my flight attendant family down, and still be kind of cute about it. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, everybody can use this, and we all want to still. We get tired of the medical, and I'm not, mine are not designed to save your life. It's just a face covering. But again, I still want to be cute. I got these outfits. I still want to be cute. I can't show faces much anymore. Why not be
Right.
cute with my mask and fan to
Yes.
go with
No.
it?
I love it. I do. I think it's a great idea. Well, before the show is over tonight, you and I'll have to do a safety demo and show people what we do.
Oh,
I love that you talked about closing the overhead bins and doing the emergency exits.
flare, baby.
And I
Yes,
love it.
flare.
Yeah. All right. Well, very
Yes.
good. Well, let's give the daily COVID-19 update numbers.
Okay.
The Illinois Department of Public Health announced today, Wednesday, that an additional 2,295 newly confirmed cases of coronavirus. This is the highest daily case total since May 24th here in the state of Illinois. The state approached this number in late May. In recent weeks, it's been an uptick in numbers statewide on the case count and other counties around. As you guys all know, down in the East St. Louis area, their numbers are extremely high down there to the point that the governor's going to bring them back a number because they've got to get their case numbers down. Officials also said more than 50,000 people have been tested in the last 24 hours. That's roughly twice the number that were being conducted in late May. As of Tuesday, the
Wow.
7-day statewide average positivity rate was 4.4%, and that's up from the 3.9 2 weeks earlier, and it was 2.9 on July 18th. Unfortunately, I have to report tonight that we've had 25 more deaths in the last 24 hours. This now brings our statewide death total to 7,806, and our total known cases here in Illinois is now 211,889 cases. And so, Terry, you were just stating how you don't know if you could go back in the air again. Just the paranoia. I'm with you. I'm absolutely afraid to do anything out the confines of my own home. I know that I clean my place. I know, my own germs and all of that. And so, what do you think people will do now, Terry, that we are in this pandemic like this and this is not getting any better?
Continue to act like there is nothing wrong and nothing's out there. Continue to it won't hit me, it won't get me. You know what I mean? Continue to not take this serious because of the election and all the restrictions with the postal service and everything else. As much as I feel too that I'm okay, I'm gonna protect myself. I've got my mask. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do this. I'm still extremely uncomfortable going out in public, and I've tried to downplay it, and then my anxiety starts to grow some more. What I can say that COVID, I have a COVID-related medical leave from my job, but it saved my life, not only from COVID, actually catching COVID, but from having a mental breakdown. And if I wouldn't have reached out into our employee assistance program when all of this started in March, I would probably be in a hospital, mental hospital somewhere, because trying to push to go, I need my money. I got to pay my rent. I have to do this. I am up there in age too, Art. You know what I mean? I will be 60 next month. I can't be out there playing with
You hot, mama. You
I
hot.
don't have the fur on me.
You look,
I will be
mama,
60.
you hot. Look, you a sizzler 60.
But again, Art, even saying that ain't gonna keep me from COVID. You know what I mean? Because here I feel young. I'm not. I'm at risk. So it was causing me a lot. I think everybody needs a little therapy in their life. I really do. Because having it now and knowing and having the tools to cope with what I was feeling, and I've been in every job I've almost ever had in my life. If I'm not saving a life, my life was in danger. You know what I mean? So I've had high death rate employment jobs. I'm a cop. I'm a flight attendant. We can evacuate the aircraft in 90 seconds or less. You know what I mean? On fire. So I've been here. That anxiety when COVID, if I go out here, I can die. Wait a minute. Wait, what? I got somebody infected. I could die. Wait, okay, time out. I don't know. I've never dealt with anxiety. Well, how I dealt with it, I've battled through it. With this COVID and this pandemic, I can't battle through. Okay, Terry, okay, you can get on that plane. No, I can't. I can't. I can't. So I'm struggling with it, but the therapy is helping. It's giving me tools to recognize when I get a trigger, and that mask and the scarf is what does it for me. Wearing that and 14 hours a day on a metal tube with a mask and a scarf.
Right.
Wow.
That is true.
What training?
That is true.
What training do we have for that? Zero. What training is gonna teach me? You know what I mean? That okay, push. This is a medical. This is something that can kill us if we keep continuing to not do the protocols to keep the numbers down. Look at Europe. Europe ain't letting us in. Hello, people. Europe ain't letting us in. Why? Because they what they were supposed to do.
Right. Terry, I do want to mention this. There's an Asian airline that I even saved the pictures and I'll send them to you. They put their flight attendants in full hazmat suits.
I know what
with
you're talking about.
Shields. It's right. And they
matching art. It's Asia. It's Asia Airlines. Did they not look sharp? And that's how I was like, look, if I'm going back, the mask matches the hazmat suit. It has their insignia. They are gloved up, masked up, shoes up, hazmat, and cute. America. We can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't protect us like that. Why? Why not? Why? But we're supposed to just go, okay, it won't affect me because I live in the USA. It won't affect. I don't
Well,
know.
now,
But I
Terry,
know I can't tell what other people do. I'm not doing.
would you really go to work in a hazmat suit though? Now keep in mind you like to sashay down the runway of the airplane. You like to let people know the legs are still in great shape. The arms are
But
Michelle Obama arms. I look, baby, I know you. So
you want me to go? You want me to
are
go
you
grab
going
it?
to work? Huh?
You want me to? My nephew is in the Navy. He left the Navy, and he gave me, those coveralls they wear.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I was gonna tailor it to fit my body really cute, but it's like the Michael Myers suit, that comes all the way up his jumpsuit with the collar.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna bling it out, but yeah, I'm not. I think I mean, first day on the job, Terry, you gotta go home. That is so not compliant. Well, you know what? It's blue. Hello,
Well,
it's
no,
blue.
that's
It's
not
cute.
gonna work.
I thought
We've got to be in uniform. We've got to be in
yeah,
uniform. Yes. All
but if
right. Well,
Asia Air can do it, why can't we? Why can't we?
yeah, which is true. I have so many flight attendant friends, being a former flight attendant, and I just wonder because the airline industry is never going to be the same as we know it. They're packing planes full of people now. That's recirculated air, and I love travel and cannot wait to be able to do some international travel again. But I'm just wondering,
Exactly.
what will it take for the airline industry to change all of this drastically, because you're not the only person that feels this way about getting back on a plane,
No, no, and it and again, Art, I'm just very blessed to have so much support. My son, Terry Bradley is like, yeah, mom, no, 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 I got you. I will do whatever it takes. Me and his beautiful girlfriend Rachel, they're like, I got you. But again, Art, and you used to work making a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? And where I am at this point in my life, I'm like, baby, sweetheart, that's cool. But again, what about 6 months from now? What about next? What about it? So again, Runway 421, entrepreneurship, people,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. Fight your way out. If I'm gonna fight a battle, then I'm gonna fight surviving. I'm fighting to survive in this economically. The government is not gonna help us. They're not gonna help us. So Canada getting the 3,000 a month or whoever, and everybody else is getting all this help from their government. It's not gonna happen. So guess who's got to help us? Each other. You know what I mean? Supporting businesses, supporting Black businesses. My girls, they have got me. My flight attendant family, they have got me. Anybody that knows me and I reach out to, supporting. And that is a blessing in itself. So yeah, COVID, thank you for that. Because I would have
Yeah.
never thought outside the box, Art.
All
Never. I
right.
would have never still for somebody.
Very good. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And you are going to do well with the mask. Today, 4 Chicagoland aldermen have put out a request that the mayor bring the National Guard to the city of Chicago. And this is in light of the recent looting we've had here in the city of Chicago. It's in light of the fact that our police officers are working 12-hour days. Their days off have been canceled. A lot of police officers are retiring in record rates. And, Terry, with you being a former police officer, and let me tell you the funniest thing, Terry, I had a friend who was a flight attendant and became a police officer. And here you were a police officer and became a flight attendant. So I found that
Vice versa.
interesting. Right, exactly. And so I kind of want to talk about, policeman fatigue. I want to talk about, the human interest factor when you're a cop. Here you are, a mom of somebody that would be the age of the looters. Where's your head on all of this? And then do you think the National Guard should come into Chicago?
Well, or to be totally honest, again, I had to take a step back on a lot because of COVID, and all of the information that comes is just too much. It's too much to process. I don't watch the news anymore. You know what I mean? I don't read a lot of the banter on Facebook, the political banter, or a lot. I can't take it anymore. I don't have anywhere to put it. Seeing the National Guard out there, I don't know. It's like sending your bad butt children to the neighbor to discipline them when it should start at home. You know what I mean? We are, it's everybody, let's get along. You know what I mean? Let's get along. We are adults out here. Black, white, pink, purple. We all bleed red. The distractions that are going out here, National Guard ain't gonna stop that. You know what I mean? So now that everybody's out of line, we need the National Guard to tell us how to act. We know how to act, everybody. Come on, y'all. Come on. Running multi-million-dollar operations. Everybody's out here fronting like I'm doing this and I'm doing, and I can. How about just get along? You know what I mean? All these looting and all that. Where's your mama? Where's your daddy? Where's your grandma? You going to somebody's house, shooting these, these kids getting shot out. You going to somebody's house and you don't have a job, ain't never had a job, to just see the fool shooting out the window in Gucci. He saw too many movies. When I saw that, what's the National Guard gonna do? We kill everybody up. You know what I mean? We need to come. We as a nation, as people, we have so much power because even with what the government's doing, we can shut all that down. That's my I guess unrealistic dream. Stop going to the store, stop buying this, stop. Right? Let's go back to Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks days. Everybody shut the government down. We control them. They don't control us. We control this. You know what? Stay home, don't fly. You know, don't grocery shop, don't hoard all of this stuff. Stop doing it. Show we have the power. We put you all in office, we can take you out, but we run this. And how this has all gotten. So no, I guess getting back to the National Guard, I think that is not the solution, number one. Yeah, I don't think the Army marching through here basically is that's
the logic behind the National Guards coming in, from what the aldermen are expressing, is to help police and patrol the neighborhoods, to help assist our law enforcement officers that are already in place. Keep in mind that these people are, again, working 12-hour days, no days off. We seem to be a little short-handed in the Chicago Police Department. And then you probably have a whole barrage of cops that would not give a damn if people did tear up, loot, and burn down Chicago, because of a lot of reasons and issues. And so, the governor said that if the mayor does want the National Guard, he does have people on the ready and willing to assist. But then a lot of people think, like yourself, it would be the wrong answer, period, to have them come in.
Have you ever seen the National Guard being customer friendly? You know what I mean? Even as a police officer, you're a civil servant. You know what I mean? You're supposed to have some decorum of how to treat people, how to talk. Supposed to, right? You haven't seen the National? Yeah, excuse me, ma'am. You not do that. You know it's 7:30. You should be in the house. Could we? They're coming in stormtrooping. That's my take on when you call out the National Guard. Conversation's over. Conversation's over. There's not going to be, okay, as a community, they're not going to, I don't know this. I'm just, they're not going to sit down with every precinct captain or every precinct with the police station and, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. What are you having in there? Okay, well, no, they're stormtrooping. They're going to show up, line up, AK-57 or whatever it is that they got and show their presence that way. And that is, I don't think that's, I just don't, there's no, that's the biggest of the bully. And God knows that I don't mean that the National Guard is bullies, you know what I mean? They risk their lives for me. But what I mean is it's over now. It's over. Once the National Guard shows up, conversation is over. It's going down. And a lot of people are going to die. I think a lot of people will die. Just trying to put up that, that front that, okay, they're not going to, it'll get ugly. I just don't think that's the solution.
All right. Well, a lot of people are agreeing with you on this and saying you're right about that. We'll see. There are also a strong contingent of people who are saying, look, whatever help we can get to kind of curb some of this violence and crime in Chicago, I'm gung-ho and I'm all for it. But we gonna pray for our city. So now, you being the mom of somebody who's in their mid-20s now, and most of these young
27.
Oh, you kidding me? I love it. Well, with most of the young people being out here of that age range and protesting and Black Lives Matter and things like that, is there any advice as a mom of somebody who's 27 years old that you would give your child about standing up for their rights right now?
I've just been very blessed. All right, and I can only speak on my son, and very knowledgeable. Number one has always been. He's that kid or that young man that first of all it came from his mama. If you say it, you better know how to spell it. You know what I mean? So any words that you are going to use, if you can't spell it, that means you don't know what it means. You haven't looked up the true definition. Just so that's how that started. And when I tell you he throws out them $150 words at his mama, I'm like, oh my God, I love that so much. But again, very well read, just takes pride in everything that he says or does or whatever. So I've not had to worry about him out protesting because again, that's not how you that's not what you should be doing. You know what I mean? And at his age, him and his girlfriend, although she had to go back to work, they were sheltering in place. They were doing, especially at that age. You know what I mean? Used to being out and going, and of course, of being an actor, all of that shut down. But they sheltered in place. You know, he didn't want me going places. My Mother's Day, they stood outside my door, with like a long hand to me to fly. You know what I mean? So I was extremely proud of that. Um, my son is very logical. So he looks at the logic of it. Is that logical to be out there looting? Or the protesting? Is there another way to do that? Probably. How about we go into the community? Where can we help? Do you need food in your community? Do you need child care? What do you need? That's protest. That's to me, speaking up for what you need in your community, not busting out windows, not we're tired of this, that, and the other. How can we go into our communities and teach each other? You know what I mean? What do you need in this community? How can we come together that way? There are more ways or more outlets to protest where he's not out there, but we got to show the numbers and this, that, and the other. So I can't say because I haven't had to do that with him. His
Okay.
intellect and thought process on that is another level.
Okay,
So
good.
yeah.
All right. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm proud of him. And look, I know his daddy. I know his mama. Your son is not like most young people. Look, your son was in Acapulco at probably the age 3, and knew how to order off of a menu. So I'm not
in
surprised.
Another language.
That's right. In another language, in Japanese, in Acapulco.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm not surprised. All right. Very good.
Yeah. So that's just been a blessing. I can't. And again, and my fault maybe for not being as savvy everything that's going on in the current events now. But again, I can't handle a lot. I can't take it. I'm like an empath. I feel the emotion. I feel it. I take it in. What can I do? And that starts getting to here where I can't, and I can't,
Mhm.
I can't process it. With
Right.
COVID, before it was like, okay, I would have more to say. Oh my God, this is how I feel, but I can't process that because of the level of anxiety that it takes me to, or the level of this is out of control. You know what I mean? What are we coming? And you know why? But again, are we really here? Is this really happening? Chicago has always had its issues. But when I saw that, and people come, girl, how you living? I'm like, we've always had problems, but what's going on now? Is this really happening? So I can't take it. I can't. It breaks my heart. It really does. And I only have so much room. So I
The
can't.
funny thing is, my co-host tomorrow night, he's a transplant of Chicago, but he's been here 24 years. Tomorrow night, he and I are going to talk about what can Chicago improve on from 2 Black men's point of view. And we kind of grew up. Well, I grew up here, but in his 24 years, he grew up here as well too.
Yes.
But he's not originally from here. And so tomorrow night, that's our discussion is, coming from 2 Black men who love this city, but we see a lot of deficiencies in this city. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow evening. So that's ironic that you even, would say that, and I get where you are right now. There are so many people whose anxiety level is at 800. I had a doctor's appointment, one of the tele appointments, and I said the same thing to my doctor. I said, my anxiety level, I feel great in other ways, but my anxiety level is at 150 right now,
Right. And Art, before this, again, I would have no problem snapping off answers. You know, I've been watching the news all night. I've been watching this. This is my take on that. This is what I take on that. Like I get, and that's again where therapy is teaching me how to deal with. And I never wanted to have therapy too. And God rest my mama. But I was like, ooh, they might bring up a whole lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That mother-daughter conflict. I don't want to do that. I've wasted a lot of time being afraid of therapy. You know what I mean?
Right.
When it has taught me I can only control so much. You know what I mean? I can only take in
Mm-hmm.
so much. And right now, the political climate they're in, I can't. I can't. So, and I live. My son will keep me on the cusp of what's happening, and I'll talk about it with him. As far as actively getting involved or watching it or talking about it, I can't handle it. I
All
can't.
right. Well, with that being said, tonight, the third night of the virtual Democratic convention in Connecticut. Tonight, we'll see former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris will take the stage tonight to deliver who she is, present herself to us. I feel as if it's almost like a debutante's ball this evening of us getting to know Kamala Harris. Last night, well, I really do. I feel like tonight is her debutante's ball, and that's her chance to get up and tell us about being Mamala, as she calls herself, or her family calls her, and to give us a glimpse into her life. I mean, because really, this is very exciting to have a African-American or biracial woman of African-American descent to be in this position. And so, Terry, you know, you as a Black woman, I'm sure you're elated. What are your feelings about Kamala being the vice presidential Democratic candidate?
Woman, Black woman, Democrat. Hello, vote, 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 vote. Peter Pan, Democrat. Vote, 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 vote. But the fact that it is a woman, uh, very proud of we can't live in our past. You know what I mean? So what she's done in the past, or people are trying to ding her with, well, this is where she is now. This is where we all are now, and this is the best ticket for us. Again, I got to say, the only picture that I've really seen of her, and I'm watching the Democratic convention or the convention speeches tonight because, again, in this pandemic, I want to see how they're doing it. I'm extremely curious about how that's being done. I watched the other ones, you know, the social distancing, the masks. We're making history even with that. So I will watch. But when I saw her picture with her putting that, I saw some of them greens, and that was my girl right there. I don't care what y'all say about her. She eats greens like that. She's Black, but we got to get past that. This is our ticket if we want the nonsense out of the White House. So, you know, whatever the debate on, you know, this, that, or the other, they're there. They are there. This is what we have. This is our ticket, and get out and vote so we can stop the madness.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Also tonight, Hillary Clinton, who was another barrier breaker. She was the first female presidential nominee. Unfortunately, she did not win. She lost to our current president, number 45. And so, you know, I'm excited to hear what everybody will have to say tonight. I'm sure Barack will deliver a very powerful but yet gut-punching speech. I'm sure it'll be eloquent. I'm sure it will. I'm sure Hillary Clinton will put others at ease. And when I say others at ease, other minorities, she'll bring women. She'll bring that energy that needs to be brought there. And then again, we get to meet Kamala tonight for, you know, one-on-one. So, you know, as soon as we finish this show tonight, as they say, I'm gonna pop me some popcorn, and at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna be ready to see the music and power that will be the virtual Democratic convention tonight.
Yes, yes, me too. I will. Like I said, this is unprecedented times we're in because of COVID, so I wouldn't miss it. I really want to see how this is going to be done, and of course, I want to hear.
Okay. Okay. All right, Terry, are you enjoying yourself so far?
Yes, yes. Art, this is so much fun, and I was, of course, anxious about it, but you are. You know how there are no words to express how much I love you, and it's like we are. It's like you told me, Terry. It's like we're gonna be sitting, you know, in your living room, just talking. We haven't talked like this in years. Are
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
And just that we're healthy, we're both are healthy, thank God on that. And to be able to do this and that you feel that way about me as well to even invite me. I'm honored to
Oh,
be
I
here.
love
I
you.
really
I
am. And I'm
do,
having a
darling.
great
You
time.
know, when again I saw your mask and I said, look, it's Black Small Business Month.
Yeah.
I want to bless my sister. I want to help her
Yes.
out. There are a couple of other
Yes.
people I'm going to try to get on before the month is over. But I just
Yes.
thought how ingenious to create something like a mask and a matching fan to help people. I love it. And
Yeah,
as you
that's
said,
it.
yes, yes, I
To
do.
help people.
All right,
And it
let's
wasn't
get,
about go ahead.
huh? No, go ahead, darling.
I
You
was
said
gonna say
what?
it wasn't about the just make that really quick point. That's why I think I'm so blessed with it because my thought process wasn't about the money. I mean, yeah, eventually that's what your business you want income, but it was like, how can I'm not going to be using that safety card. How do I fix that? How do we still be cute out there? You know what I mean? How do I boost just your confidence level of not of sitting there with a fan that matches your mask? You know what I mean? And that's how it became. So yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, the most trending story on social media since yesterday afternoon is actually a very sad story. For those of you all that are fans of Sweetie Pie Soul Food in St. Louis, I know friends of mine that have driven for hours to go down there and wait hours just to get a
I
table.
heard, but
Look, they
doing that.
drove 5 hours and then waited 2 hours to be able to sit down to
I
get a
heard
meal.
people doing that
Honey, I know
in that
many
show.
people,
Yeah,
right. I know people again that have driven 8 hours to go there and wait 2 hours for a table. Well, the
so it was
son,
that good.
well, yeah, well, the son, James Timothy Tim Norman, who is a gentleman that I actually had the pleasure of meeting, and I talked to him when the show first was being brought out about Sweetie Pies in St. Louis. It's an unfortunate story. He has a $450,000 life insurance policy on his nephew, and he's the sole beneficiary of the insurance policy. And this goes back quite a bit to 2016. The nephew was killed on the street. My Wi-Fi is acting crazy. Killed on the street in front of the house in which the grandmother, not Miss Robbie, but another family member lived in front of. Same block. Oh, we losing internet. He was
Yeah, I was
killed
gonna
on
say
this
yes.
block. He was killed on this block
Huh?
as well too. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So
Yes, I
the
can.
family, this block is an omen for this family, and then I can't believe that you would kill your own nephew for insurance money. And I'm sure Sweetie Pies is making hand over fist in money because again, people are driving hours to wait 2 hours to sit down to eat, and they had several locations in St. Louis. What do you think about this story, Terry?
Remember that show, The Dumbest Criminals or whatever it is? Um, I worked in the jail the last 4.5 years of being on the police force, right? The stupidest crime that I thought, and I'm dealing with these people, I'm talking to them all the time, bank robbers. And we had two females working in the female section. They tried to rob a bank, and the first thing I said to them is, "I really want to know how dumb you are. Who gets away with bank robbery? Seriously, we're here right now because you tried to rob a bank. You're dumb. Who gets away with insurance fraud like that? When again, you're a reality TV star. That's how people know about you. You're making money. You know what I mean? You're black. You think they're not going to turn over every stone before they pay? They don't want to pay me for insurance that I pay into. You know what I mean? You think they want to pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars on somebody that young who died that young? Just, I don't understand. That's just, I don't understand. But is that greed? Is that, it's stupid. Don't rob banks and don't try insurance frauds. You go into jail. So again, my concept, Art, where did he even think it was going to go with that? Why? That's what?
And
What was
here's
the
this,
thought process?
here's the deal. here's the deal, and I don't want anybody to quote me, but I need to investigate a little bit more. But I think this gentleman had already been in jail before. And then, you know, when the grandmother's food was so good and recognizable and they decided to open the soul food place, I think it was kind of to help him get back on his feet. Now, I may be wrong about that, but looked like that was the story I remembered. But when I met him, I didn't even realize he was as young as he was when I met him. But, you know, I'm just shocked to know that you would have the wherewithal to take an insurance policy out on your nephew who already was having troubled times. He wasn't from St. Louis. He came there to live with Miss Robbie so she can encourage him to graduate from high school. If you look at any of the OWN episodes, you see this young man and how proud they were he graduated from high school. And then to now, yes, and then to now know your own uncle had you killed. And here's the deal. Even Miss Robbie said it in the setup. She was like, he didn't know anybody in St. Louis, and the phone rang and they told him to come outside, and that's how he got shot. So, you know, it again, a mess.
And that's, again, no disrespect to strippers, because a few strip clubs that I've been to, I was trying to figure out how they do that. So much props to the strippers. But again, you know what I mean? So who do you think that they're gonna look at first? You and the stripper. Do you know? And I've only learned this with being off on medical leave. They fight you for every single nickel on insurance, legit insurance. Now you've taken a $250,000. You know how much paperwork that is? Number one, they're not just
wait, Terry, boo. It wasn't 250. It was 450,000.
Double the pay. Like, it was like, did they really think? And that's why a life was lost just for no freaking reason. I have no sympathy for those people that did that to that young man at all, because you're an idiot and somebody had to die for your stupidity that you were going to go to jail anyway. Should have walked straight to the jail and said, or the police, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Well, what are my chances of getting away with it? Negro, please get your butt back there in that cell. You know what I mean? So that was just, a life was lost over just something that was just dumb.
Somebody did send me a message and said that they thought I was right too, that he did do some jail time, and opening this restaurant was a way for him to get himself back on his feet, kind of like the grandmother, you know, providing him a way to make a way. Because if you've been in jail,
family,
yeah.
Family bringing it together, and they blew up, and you go out and do some stuff like this. And again, not counting your blessings either. Look what he did. Look what he did. You know what I mean? Yeah. God gives you all of this. He puts all of this before you. And what do? For money? That's so sad.
But then, Terry, now I also heard the flip side of the story too, that it was a lot of reckless spending. Well, honey, I heard it was a lot of reckless spending, a lot of, you know, creating more debt than the money that's coming in. And then I had heard, and this is through the rumor mill, that Sweetie Pie's quality had started declining over the years anyway. So, you know, I don't know.
They were getting too big. Yeah, they were probably getting, the egos might have been getting too big, or just, I don't know. And then too, that's another thing I do have to kind of, when you go up like that, you know, all of a sudden your life changes overnight like that. The demons come in all directions. You know what I mean? And again, do you have coping skills for that? Maybe not. So, okay, I will cut him some slack on that, because it's coming at you from everywhere, and got caught up. But that young man did not have to lose his life over that kind of nonsense, because they never would have got away with it. Never.
Right. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about this story, but Tim has been arrested. He's 41 years old, and he's been charged with conspiracy to use interstate commerce facility and a commission for a murder to hire result in the connection of the March 14, 2016 death of his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. And all I can
So
say
sad.
is that's a damn shame. And here's the deal.
Sad.
People think they can get away with murder every day. And it's amazing to me how these stories come up many years later and they've pieced it together. And you know,
Yeah.
so I don't know, but my thoughts and prayers go out to Miss Robbie. I just love her,
Oh,
adore
yes.
her. She's a sweet woman, and you know,
Yeah.
hope that everything works out on that half. All right. Well, for those
Yeah.
of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am Chat Daddy, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you guys. It's Wind Down Wednesday. We're all about health, wellness, and fitness tonight. My co-host is the amazing Miss Terry Bell. She and I met many years ago, and we're thinking at the Taste Entertainment Center, 63rd and Low.
Shout out to Marie.
Shout out to the Taste Entertainment Center. And
Right.
look, I hope that wasn't during my stripper days that I wasn't stripping at the Taste then, was it? Right. See, I was being conservative back then, right? Okay, yeah. So you
I
didn't
know
even
she had the taste. Wait, Art. I know she had the taste kittens because you know that's how I met Lisa Ray. And y'all, that's a whole nother story.
that's
But
a whole
she had guy strippers.
well, you know, it was a little of everything that went on at the Taste. The Taste covered every demographic under the sun. It did. The Taste had a great. It had a great gay night too. So I'll put it to you like that.
I was gonna say we got to do another show on taste alone. When please, what's his name? What's the big drug dealer guy? Bishop. Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, our Bishop scared me to death the first time he came up to me and taste. I'm like,
I love Bishop. I love that. Bishop is really a teddy bear. He really is. He's a
sweetheart. But again, he can't. I mean, he was purple hat, pimped out cane, and I'm looking around. Terry, where's Terry? Terry, somebody. I doesn't speak the language of 63rd.
You don't speak the language of 63rd, boo. I love you. I love you. I love you.
But a sweet, no, again, shout out to Bishop because he was the nicest. Everybody at Taste, the nicest people I've ever, you know, we had some good times, but yeah, I didn't know about you stripping, sir.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. I was more of a burlesque.
You weren't stripping then.
I was more of a burlesque dancer. Burlesque. I was more of like a dancer. Like that, you know.
Well, don't wait. You just gave me another idea, Art. Let me make this fan a little bigger for the strippers out there. We can go back to the burlesque days. Let's bring back some glamour. But Art, we had some good times at Taste.
Yes. Well, Terry, if nothing else, you could make pasties to match the mask, and you could do a fan for the strippers. You know what I'm saying? That would be a whole. You could do pasties. Pasties.
And wait a minute,
mask,
you guys, let's make this go viral. Wait, let's make this go viral because again, it takes Terry Bradley to bring me in on music or rap and all this other stuff. But Cardi B is my girl. Yo, Cardi.
I love Cardi B. I do. I do. You
my girl. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, but that's a great idea. But this can go in all directions, and that's why I feel so blessed, Art. Because again, this is something a positive of COVID for me. This Runway 421.
Very good. All right. Well, we're here. We're having a great time. My good girlfriend, Terry Bell, is hanging out with me tonight. And we're going to move on in our show this evening. One of the things that we want to talk about, Terry, one of our viewers gave a great comment on how you are in such great shape. You said you'll be 60 years old next month, and we'll have to bring you back to celebrate your birthday. And so we're getting ready to talk about ways to eliminate stress in your life. Terry, is there any particular secret that you have that you would share with what you are doing to keep yourself looking great? Because you are still in your modeling shape. You know what I'm saying? Look, ain't no
wait. You bring everything in.
Right.
Right. Okay, so ready? You ready for that answer?
Yeah. What do you do?
It used to be sex, y'all, but Corona's got me scared. So we don't have a Corona boo. So it's not that.
Terry, that's so funny you said that. A friend of mine, we were talking today, And he and I both was like, well, sex is not what it's gonna be anymore. It's sex is, he was like, we pretty
Art,
much can quit sex goodbye if you ain't with
art.
somebody. I'm like, oh my
No,
God. Man.
and seriously, and that's what it is because I would be on the plane and you know how passengers are, and I'm like, oh, she ain't getting none. I know she ain't getting none. You ain't because if you were, you'd be a whole lot nicer. So yeah, it used to be sex, but yeah, you breathe on me the wrong way, and I might run to the nearest emergency room. But now it's finding that I have a creative side when I'm sewing masks and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about the fan or how do I want to do it this way, or again, it's only going to get better. I'm going to start constructing my own fans, the frame or whatever. That's relaxing me. But then I thought about people, and not one flew over the cuckoo's nest, but when you go into like, mental wards or stuff, what do they have you doing? They have you painting. They have you doing arts and crafts or crocheting or this. I'm finding that this sewing and what I've learned making masks is extremely relaxing. I don't.
Wow.
The only reason I own a television is because somebody gave me one. Because I don't watch a lot of television anyway. So
What?
I found I didn't meditate before Corona. Meditation,
Okay.
meditation,
All
and
right.
getting into to doing my craft is relaxing.
Well, that's so funny, Terry, that you brought that up. Our next segment tonight is to talk about 10 things that people can do to release some of the stress in their life. Since we've been in this shelter in place, everybody has quarantined in their own little way. As you said, people of a certain age or people with pre-existing health conditions have to be extremely careful about what they do. And so you're mentioning meditation. That's actually on my list tonight, but I'm going to start off with the number one thing that's on the list. Eat and drink sensibly. The other day I had a photo shoot, and as we all know, I've not been in a shirt, tie, or tuxedo or any suit
No,
type of situation. Right, since early March. It is uncommon for me, I attend at least 2 black tie dinners per month. I attend something.
Yes.
Yeah, I attend something where I have to dress up. Well, I've not had to dress up since this pandemic. So
Wow.
eating and drinking sensibly is what we want to remind everybody to do. If you're feeling a little stressed right now, it could be that you're eating more, you're drinking more alcohol. A lot of people are now needing to be treated for alcohol abuse. A lot of are needing
and day drinking.
Food addiction. So that's one of the things that you guys can do to kind of keep yourselves from losing it. The other thing is assert yourself into something else. And when I say assert yourself, only find things that are right for you to do. If you feel something is too stressful for you to do right now, the number one thing for you to do is to say, no, I don't want to do this. I'm not interested in doing this. A lot of people feel as if it might hurt people's feelings, or you might be arrogant or conceited or whatever the case may be. But if you do not want to do it, do not do it. What do you feel about that, Terry? You've been preaching that all night.
And I was just going to say, Art, I call that the let that train go by. You know what I mean? I'm usually jumping on trains. I'm like Wonder Woman. I fight every battle because I know I can. That wall, I'm a bulldoze that wall down. It's been my survival my entire life. Well, not my entire life, my entire adult life. You know what I mean? I can't do that now. It's exhausting, number one. There's other ways to approach it that I've learned in therapy, number two. So I've called it, when I see that train where I got to do it, I got to conquer this, I got to do it. I got to help this. Okay, I got to, you know what? I'm letting that train go because I can't handle it. Watch it just pass me by. You know what I mean? And maybe the next one, maybe. But I'm learning in COVID. I'm learning in this pandemic. I'm learning because I've spent so much time by myself that I don't have to. Like you said, I don't have to. It's okay if I say no. It's okay if I don't watch everything or pulling back from that Facebook too. That's relaxing. You know what I mean? Because you get so caught up in that emotionally. So yeah, kind of curbing that, back away from that, you guys. Sometimes, not. I know a lot of my Facebook friends do. They'll go missing for a little bit and come back, and they're like, "I needed to reconnect. We need to reset in this pandemic." time that we're in. And you
Mhm.
need to focus on resetting. Not that, okay, I wake up today, I'm going to you have to reset. Try meditation.
Yeah.
Find a skill that you didn't know you had. I wrote a book too. I didn't tell you about that. I just
No.
finished it when COVID hit. It's called Alibis Fly, and she's a cop going undercover to catch a murderer that's killing flight attendants. So yeah. So I kind of got sidetracked, and like I said, I just finished it. I was talking to some publishers, but I was going to self-publish anyway. But then COVID, and that's a whole nother story too. But I'm saying that to say I couldn't write. You know what I mean? That was my therapy. I was experiencing so much anxiety and all of this that I didn't know how to deal with. I couldn't write. So I couldn't use that because before I would go in my little hole, you know what I mean? Go in my little mind and my world, and I'm writing story characters are talking. I was like, oh my God, at night I would be, shut up, let me go to sleep. And when
Oh
that
Lord.
stopped, and I was like, I can't write. Oh yeah. So then I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean it's gone. That just means that I've got too much in my head right now that I'm trying to process that it's not coming to me. Let me find something else.
Okay.
Fans, my math. You know what I mean? And then that was like, oh my God, this is so therapeutic. I love this.
Okay.
So find
All
something
right.
else.
Okay, very good. Another thing that if you are a smoker, you
Oh,
may want to consider not smoking anymore. A lot of people are tending to smoke more now during this pandemic. Even though Terry said she has no television, she tends to, she has one, but she disconnects from the outside world. And I get that. So if you are a smoker, you might want to get rid of that or any other bad habits that you have. The one thing that I
right.
like, Terry, is that I'm looking at other ways of therapy, for the body, overall well-being, other ways of
Okay.
eating. When I had to rush and
Change
do
your
things
diet.
and leave the house every day, my eating habits were really horrible. And I'm kind of going back to my story Monday. When I put on my suit and shirt and tie, the neck was too big on the shirt, which I thought was just phenomenal. The jacket was too
Wow.
big on me. And so that
Wow.
lets me know that, I had been doing pretty well and not overeating here at the house and,
Right.
doing the best I can to try to stay physically fit. And so it's been
Right.
great. Another thing that we want
Right.
to remind everybody of is to exercise regularly if you can. If you get in at least 30 minutes of exercise a day, whether it's walking. We had Coach Mario Kuntz on the show a few weeks ago, and he
Cool.
showed us how to do at home. Oh, he's really great. We'll have to have him on one
Yes.
night when you're. Terry, do you
I'm starting with that.
participate in any type of do you participate in any type of exercise or fitness, yoga, or
Yeah.
anything?
Accidentally. I'm a swimmer. All right. Remember, I was out there at the First Street Beach every summer in lifeguarding. But I'm a swimmer, but I can't get to a pool, especially now. And I'm not getting nobody's pool. That's another thing. That's another story. But I walk. I walk everywhere. I live in proximity to the airport, so I got rid of my car because I didn't need it. And I'm never here. All before I stopped flying. But I walk everywhere, so I'm doing it accidentally. And that's another thing. Sometimes when you think about it too hard, it gets overwhelming and it's like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk to the store. I'll walk 2 miles. And next thing I know, it's 4 miles. And just to get some air, to get out of the house, especially in the pandemic, I didn't want to be around people, but I still needed to get out. So yeah, I do walk. I walk every day. If it's only for 10 minutes a day or just to go up the street to the store or something, I get out. I walk every day. I try.
Good.
Should
Very
I be exercising? I don't know.
okay. All right.
That's my exercise.
Here's another thing that we want to remind everybody to do is to study or practice a relaxation technique. So whether it's Tai Chi, yoga,
Okay.
meditation, whatever it may be, you should try to study or practice a relaxation technique every day. And I agree 100%. I am the type of person now, I love a great shower or a great bath. And I've even retrofitted my shower to have a bench in it. And I
So
now
you can
take a
sit under that water.
and stretch while I'm under in the shower. And it's the best
Yes.
thing that could have ever happened to have that warm
Yes.
or hot, warm water and stretching while
Yes.
I'm on a bench in my shower. And so it's
That
just
actually
great. It
makes
works
sense.
out well. Do you have a secret or
Yes.
tip that you do?
I in the winter I'm 2 hours in the tub every night, bubble bath. In the summer, not so much. But it's funny you should say that too, because again, when that water hits you, sometimes I just stand there and I need a bigger tub because I probably break my neck trying to stretch or anything. But yeah, just stand there and again learn this in learning this in therapy. Don't just try not to think. Just concentrate on my breathing in the water. That's all. Concentrate on my breathing in the water, and that's it. And it's again, that's what a shower should be. Or not should be, but I find that that could be very relaxing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Don't be in there thinking about what am I going to do? What am I going to cook? What am I going to eat?
Mhm.
Let that be a
Mhm.
space as well. You know what I mean? That you just feel the water. You sit there and you just feel the water. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yes, I put on tranquil music. I leave my phone out of the bathroom and I go in and I take
Right.
myself a detailed, shower. But while I'm in that shower, I'm stretching and doing Tai Chi moves or, whatever
Yeah.
seated, almost like chair
Yeah.
yoga or chair Tai Chi.
Okay.
But that's
Yes.
exactly what I do. Yes. Okay. Let's continue on our
And it's
list.
cleansing.
Yes. Take control of your own responsibility. That's another task. And when I said take control of your own responsibility, only bond with your stuff and your situations. I know people who got to do a million things for a million other people, and they're not taking care of the well-being of their own selves. And
True.
so nothing
True.
else during this pandemic, you should learn to relate to yourself. You should learn to do things that make you more responsible for who you are. And I've learned that during this pandemic. How about you, Terry? What do you feel about that?
I got to know me. And Art, that's amazing that you should say that. Again, finding a positive in COVID. I all this time that I've been here by myself, I got to know me. You know what I mean? I don't have to conquer the world. I don't. I don't have to I don't know, have a solution to everything. That's another thing. It's okay not to know. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be uh, not vulnerable. And for me,
Mhm.
that was unheard of. Nope, nope. I got the Wonder Woman bracelets on. You know what I mean? There is nothing that can penetrate this because I am a warrior. I learned I don't have to be a warrior every day. And that I think has a lot to do with being a black woman, you know, coming up, uh, raising, a lot of women, we're out here raising our children by ourselves. You have to learn to be fierce and a warrior
Mhm.
and always on, always on, always on. So that's what I did learn that I don't have to always be on and I'll be okay. I'll be okay if I don't. You know what I mean? I'll still survive if I don't
Right.
have to fight every battle. I'll be okay. And that took a lot, Art. That was enlightening to learn that, okay, you don't have to be Wonder Woman every day of your life. It's okay to need, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask for help
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I'm very prideful.
Well, another thing too, and you mentioned this early on in our segment, meditation is another thing that people should do. I oftentimes tell people it's called relate to yourself. And if you
I like
don't
that.
meditate, look, Terry, if you don't meditate, you need to do the other thing that rhymes with it, that begins with an M too. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Right, right, right. Some people, right,
Yes.
whether you
And wait,
meditate
Art,
or
wait a
masturbate.
minute. And I don't mean to change the subject, but I wonder how that industry's booming. Woo,
Yeah,
I think numbers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what, Terry? I actually am thinking about becoming a sex toy salesman. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad, I would have to do an online business at this point. But yes, either meditate or masturbate. But the long story short, learn to
That's true.
relate to yourself during this time. For those of you that are in a relationship and have a partner, that's a different story.
Yep.
But for those of you all that do not, you need to rediscover and re-love yourself. So it's either meditate
Introduce
or
yourself to
masturbate
yourself.
or both. Huh?
I said,
You said
introduce
what?
yourself to yourself. Introduce yourself to yourself. Because I was like, wow, I remember Terry Brooks. You know what I mean? I'm like, Terry Bell has been part of my adult life, but Terry Brooks, my maiden name, I was like, oh my God, I remember you. You know what I mean? You were like, okay, whatever, this is okay, either or. But not so much that everything has to be done. So yeah, reintroduce. I love that. Meditator, masturbate, bring it. Love
Mhm.
that.
Okay. Another thing that you guys need to learn to do is deep breathing exercises. My watch tells me to breathe every so often, and it's amazing how my watch
Okay.
knows when I need to breathe. I say it's interesting that these electronics know us so well, but my watch will remind me several times a day, especially when I'm upset or I'm riled up or just got off of a phone call. The watch will say to me, do some deep breathing exercises. And Terry, you and I both know as flight attendants, our job can be unpredictable. The schedule can change at a moment's notice. You can have delays. So do you practice deep breathing exercises?
Yes, and I had to art because I did again the anxiety of all of this that everything brought. I realized I wasn't breathing, and not like CPAP, sleeping at night, like your breathing stops when you're sleeping. Just the fact that I'm holding my breath. You know what I mean? I'm holding my breath all the time. So yeah, I it's becoming more natural now. Yeah, for the last several months, I would have to concentrate on taking three deep breaths.
Wow.
Taking before I even open my mouth, take a few deep breaths. Mhm. That's real.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
real
it is.
talk.
It is. And then our last thing that we want to remind everybody to do is that if you are seeking therapy or mental health rescue, please do so. Reach out, find out where you can get mental health. You can now do it via the telephone. You don't have to go into an office. You can do it via text message, email. If you are feeling as if you are stressed out and having panic attacks, not knowing what to do, things like that, definitely seek out help in therapy. And Terry, you and I both, admit, it's good for you to do therapy. Therapy was probably one of the best things could have ever happened. It helped me with a lot of different things and it brought me clarity. But a lot of people are very afraid to seek therapy and seek help. What is your thought on that?
All right, I never would have admitted to this before, that I was having therapy before all of this. Because again, I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm cool, I don't need therapy. Yeah, if you reach out, it will be, you won't even know you need it until you're in it. You know what I mean? And then when I first started to, I was still a little skeptical. I'm like, you know what? I saw I had one or two, but I'm okay. But then the more we started getting into it, it's like I'm not breathing. My brain is always going. I can't sleep. I got anxiety. How do I fix this? I couldn't fix it by myself. So if you're still, this stuff is reoccurring and it's like a domino effect on everything else, please reach out for help, everybody. Please, please, because it will give
Mhm.
you the tools, it will give you the information that you didn't even realize you needed. And before, I was too embarrassed or ashamed to be admitting that I need therapy. That means you're weak. It doesn't. People think it means you're weak. You know what I mean?
Right,
If you go for
right.
therapy, you're weak.
Yes. No,
It's not. Please, it'll
it's
save
well
your
worth
life.
it. Yes, it is
Mhm.
very much well worth it. All right. Well, with that being said, we hope that you guys take these tips we've shared with you tonight. This is a perfect time to pivot and repurpose your life. A prime example is our co host this evening, former law enforcement officer turned flight attendant. And now she's venturing into the field of entrepreneur. She's making custom masks and custom matching fans. And Terry, all I'm going to say is the stepping community, honey. That's another demographic that would love you.
Oh,
That's another demographic, Boo Bear. You look, I need to get a check for
wait.
being your marketing person. Look, if these
No,
people
Terry
ever,
Bradley. Terry Bradley. Our Terry Bradley said it today. He was like, Mom, I was at a wedding and I would have been like, yo, my mom makes this because the guy would have wanted the bridesmaids. But you aren't kidding. Art, seriously, seriously, let's
yep.
manifest that. Put
Yeah,
that into the
look, Terry,
universe.
I thought about bridal parties too. I thought, people are
Yes,
still having small, intimate weddings. And the thing is
yes,
that to me, I love taking pictures with my mask on now because it captures
yes.
where we are in our culture and society now. And I'm trying to show I'm a good chef.
Hello, that's it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm
That's
trying
it. That's
to
where we
show
are
you.
now. That's where we
Mhm.
are. It's our new norm.
Yes. All right. Well, coming up on the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show, tomorrow night I have another great show planned for your listening and viewing pleasure. My good friend, Mr. Kevin Ross, will stop by tomorrow evening. And normally he's here as a music executive, a man about town. But tomorrow night, Kevin and I are going to talk about the city of Chicago from the perspective of two Black men. Kevin moved to Chicago 24 years ago, so he's not originally from Chicago. As you guys all know, I'm born and raised south side of Chicago, very proud of that. But tomorrow, he and I are going to talk about some of the major factors of the city of Chicago, some of the deficiencies we have here in the city of Chicago. And he and I are going to talk about some things that, possibly people would pay attention to and maybe listen to, and that might help the situation of Chicago. And then also coming up on the show tomorrow night, I'm having a reunion with my former radio show family. Tomorrow night, my former radio wife, Miss Robin Lewis, will join the show, as well as my former technical engineer and assistant, Mr. Joseph Luckett, a really great guy. And then we'll also hear from a couple of my former interns tomorrow night. And so make sure you guys tune in 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We talk about what can we do to help the city of Chicago, as well as my former radio family and I will be having a reunion tomorrow night right here on the Real Chat Daddy Show. Yay! Isn't that wonderful?
Yay! Yes, I'm so proud of you. This is like the mom talking to you now. I am so proud of you, and you never quit. You persevere. No. And when I first met you, you were a go-getter and doing big things. So I'm really proud of you, Art.
Thank you. Now, I do miss being a flight attendant, Terry. I really do. Even though, I love flying first class, and I had a flight attendant tell me one time, a Caucasian lady, I'll never forget this. I was sitting in seat 1A on one of the major airlines, and seat 1A, baby, is the
window,
seat.
Baby.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And so this woman said to me, she came up to me and she was taking my pre-departure drink order. And she says, "Oh my goodness." She said, "You must be a very important Black man, because any Black man that sits in seat 1A is a really powerful and important Black man." And I just fell out laughing. I said, "Well, honey, I appreciate you for that. I really do." She said, "Oh yes, any Black man that sits in seat 1A is a very important Black man." I said, "Well, honey, thank you. I am." So yes, I do miss the days. I do. Terry, what drew you to becoming a flight attendant? That's what I'm curious to know.
So the Terry Bell situation, the Mr. and Mrs. Right? Well, that didn't go happily ever after. But for 18 years of that part of until my son turned 18. So when Terry Bell dad got together, we had little Terry, and so when he's about 5, I want to say we divorced. But again, still had that connection. But again, all that time, I didn't have to work until Terry Bradley was basically turning 17. So I didn't have to work. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, the train is pulling into the station and they about to throw me off. So what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I was being financially very well taken care of. So it's like, okay, I don't want to, I want to do something. What am I going to do? I was standing at, I work for, can I say restaurant names or no? I work for a seafood restaurant. Yeah. Catch 35.
Wait, Terry. Oh, okay, because I once worked for a seafood restaurant many years ago too. That's too funny.
Right, girl, it's Art. I'm telling you, kindred spirits. But anyway, so I was working at Catch. I'm turning 50 at that time. I'm at the hostess stand. I'm making probably $10 an hour, and it's a Monday night, and nobody's there, and I'm standing there, and tears are just rolling down my face. Right, my manager at the time. For flight attendant that I didn't know was a flight attendant. But again, he comes, "Girl, because you know me, this is me all the time. So if something like that, something's wrong. How somebody died, what's wrong? I'm 50 and I'm a hostess." What? This isn't where I'm supposed to be. I just wasted out. What am I gonna do? He's like, you're gonna be a flight attendant. I'm too old.
Nope. Nope.
He was like, Terry Bradley was going into his senior year of high school. Again, I have no other responsibilities. He's like, you are the perfect age. They are looking for you. And I started the quest. It took me a year, Art. And people don't know that ain't just no showing up with a pretty smile. And I like people. That it depends on how that recruiter is feeling that day. If you look like the woman that stole her man, whoever, you're not getting. I don't care what your resume says. So it's really hard. The competition is fierce. So it took almost a year to get with a major airline that I'm with now, and I love it. I did not
Yeah.
know. Well, I knew. You know, I knew.
Yes.
But
Yes.
oh, and I don't like to fly. So I really don't like to fly, but I love my job, and that was it. Art. What?
Wait, Terry, you don't like to fly?
You got to read the book when it comes out. So it's kind of not a lot. I've got no, but I love my job. Isn't that crazy? Talk about crazy. Is that not
Okay.
crazy? I
So
love
now,
my job, but I'm, flying. What?
so let me tell you the funniest thing. I've been a flight attendant not once but twice. I was a flight attendant in my early 20s before we met.
I think I remember
And
that. Yeah.
yes, and then I was a flight attendant again at a midlife point. And here's the funniest thing: everybody who I was in training with as a flight attendant was all people who were going through midlife crisis. So most of the people I graduated with were divorcees, people who wanted a career change, people who were much older, people who children, they were getting ready to be empty nesters, and they had always dreamed of being flight attendants. And I even graduated with a lady who was 63 years old when she graduated. She was great.
I believe that, yes.
She was great at evacuating an airplane, but she would never remember her purse. And here I was, a black dude, always reminding her to get her purse. Right. That used to be the joke. That used to be the running joke. That was the running joke. Like, I should never be reminding you that she wouldn't remember her purse, but she could evacuate that airplane.
She get you off of there. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
No, it's not that I don't like to fly, but again, it wasn't that I'd always dreamed of being a flight attendant. I had never thought about it, but I know when I would fly, I would love watching them. You know what I mean? Especially the good ones that were about customer service, not the ones that look whatever. But I love that. And then when I got into the industry, I became an in-flight instructor. So I taught for 2.5 years, new hire flight attendants. I love teaching, but I miss the every, like you said, the day is never the same when you're flying, and I miss that. I went back to flying.
Never
I came out of the training. Yeah.
Well, let's do our last segment of the evening. You've done a great job so far, darling. The show is almost over. The show is almost over. So our last segment tonight is all about love language and how we talk to each other, and can we do things to improve our love language. And so, Terry, I noticed that you said you are a single lady. I find that hard to believe. I got a boo thing or two, but I too am looking for a permanent, put a ring on it. I am. Please put a ring on it.
I know it.
Terry, as a female, what do you think that is missing from people meeting each other nowadays? Is it chivalry? Is it people hooking up easily? And I'm sure you met a lot of wonderful men when you were flying as a flight attendant. But why hasn't Mr. Right come along yet?
Wow. Okay. So let's see. The age of texting and technology, the technological world that we live in now, is ruined dating for people. People don't want to even have a conversation no more. Don't send me a text. You know what I mean? Don't send me, I know you're thinking about it, but don't send me a good morning text. Call me. You know what I mean? There's no more. Remember how fun it used to be to travel when you go out to the airways, you're sitting at the bar, or you're at a restaurant, or you're outside, you're at the beach or whatever, and you could talk to people. You sit next to somebody, you're like, hey, how are you? Where are you going? What's going on? Now, when you get there, what is everybody doing? What are they doing?
Yep.
They're on the phone. They're on the phone. You can't hold a conversation. Now, I did meet somebody. It just didn't work out because of proximity. But the first thing that I was attracted when I saw him walking in, when I was walking into a restaurant, everybody in the room had an electronic device in their hand. This man didn't. I approached him. Hi, how are you? You can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? It's a barrier with that phone, and everybody's into their own self. So I think more conversation would be a woman. Well, I know I would love for a man to call me. I would, I also don't mind hey, good morning, beautiful, whatever, in a text. That's nice, but let's take it back to remember love letters. Remember that. You know what I mean? Writing a love letter to somebody. Texting can be interpreted so many ways. That's not a love letter, people. So I don't care what they say, and it can be interpreted too many ways. Tell me, you know what I mean? Tell me. Uh, just that part of it I miss. Art. I'm not dating right now. Well, outside of COVID. Again, I'm not looking for COVID boo, but my
COVID.
lifestyle. Yeah, lifestyle. A lot of men can handle, and Art, you can maybe uh, chime in on this. They can't handle our lifestyle. You know what I
No,
mean? I'm never here. So
right.
I'm in, and I'm based in Chicago, or I live in Chicago, but I was based in Norfolk, Virginia, which I'm not going to mention it now where I'm going to go, but you know what I mean? So they can't handle that. So that in itself, and then Art, you know how I am and how I carry myself. I need a very secure man. Men are going to approach me, but it's up to me how I reciprocate that. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to be able to handle that. I can handle my
Mm-hmm.
business if I'm with somebody. You know what? I got a man. Thank you. So, oh my God, I'm so flattered. But that's my man, or I'm married, or whatever. But to be with me, you got to be extremely secure because I'm a big personality. Number one, you know what I
Right.
mean. Number two, I may come off as flirtatious, but not necessarily flirtatious. But if I got at this point in my life, if I got to explain that to you when you haven't listened to what I'm saying, or vibe who I am as a person, you know what? Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm at a point. I was just talking to a girlfriend too. A lot of people that I'm meeting now are at this age, and I may have to go younger. You little young fellas out there, but I may have to go younger because I don't want to be wife 4. Maybe 2. But when you start talking, oh yes, I've been that's I ain't nobody's 4. So I got a problem with that. But I don't do I fault them for that? No, everybody has an issues. I'm divorced or whatever. But it's just that number. When they tell me, yeah, I've been married, so in my head I'm thinking, so that means if we got together, I'm wife number 4. Yeah, we'll be boyfriend and girlfriend till the day we die. Because
Well, now,
not
Terry,
doing that.
let me tell you the funniest thing. It's ironic that you just said what you said. Most of my friends who are finding relationships to be in nowadays are finding these relationships with younger people. I've had quite a few friends call and tell me, male and female, that they've met the person of their dreams. And when they go to tell me the age, I have to clutch my pearls. But then I also quickly released my pearls for the simple reason is I agree with them. It oftentimes, and here's the deal about aging. When you get to be a certain age, you already come with your own set of circumstances. You come with your own set of rules. You again, like you
Baggage.
said, Terry, baggage, all of that, right? And so somebody
Yes.
my age, they're already set in their ways. And a lot of
Yes.
times that's where the conflict comes in place. Somebody that's younger, if they respect you for being older, mature, refined, whatever the case may be,
Yes.
then to them, they're learning something while I feel the younger person is keeping me hip, trendy, on my toes, all of that. I
True.
had a friend one
That's
time tell me,
true.
look, Grandpa, I'm gonna need you to pep it up a little bit. And
I know
Grandpa,
that.
kid, I was like, okay. I was like,
You
okay.
like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, but I appreciated that. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It
I
was
do.
jokingly. It was
I
jokingly,
do.
but then I was like, "Damn! If you feel like that about me, let me change that situation." You get what I'm saying? So
I do.
it boosts my confidence of saying, if I can pull somebody this age, let me do what's necessary not to be that grandpa. And so and it.
And that's that art. You know what I mean? I'm open to that. Number one, because I do look younger than I am, and I don't go out telling everybody, but I'm really proud of that I will be 60 next year. But
I
again,
am.
I have a lot of younger men hitting on me, or not hitting on me, but approaching me or whatever. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So I am going to be more open to that when I do start dating again, if I do, once we're out of this nonsense. But yeah, I think I'm a old school romantic. You know what I mean? I want the flowers. You know what I mean? I think, well, I don't think, I'm not going to group everybody, but a man dating me, or they've told me before, well, I don't, some women don't like flowers because they die or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna die, but I love it. I love the presentation of it. I love the
Right.
gesture of it. You know what I mean? I love the chivalry of it, and I think you attract what you put out as well. So I don't get that guy that's not gonna open the door for me, or is not gonna on our first date probably maybe open the car door or whatever. But I'm gonna get the gentleman because I hope that that's what I attract.
Right.
But I just think bring back the romance, bring back talking to each other, get off your phones when you're out to dinner. That is my biggest pet peeve. And I will get up and walk out on the date. All right, I'm not playing. I'm not
Yeah.
playing. If we go to
Yeah.
a place and you pick up your phone and you're not looking at me, how about eye contact people? We do all these eyelashes and stuff. Give me some, you know what I mean? Look at me when you're talking to me. Get off
Right.
your phone. But that is a deal breaker. That breaking out that phone, or everywhere we go, you got to be on the phone, and we're supposedly on. I'm out. Peace out. Not doing it. But
Yeah.
bring back the
Yeah.
romance. I think what I want. That's what I miss. Everybody's just so into the instant gratification, with the technology and the emails and the FaceTiming and all of that is great. But
Mhm.
give me a phone call, FaceTime me. I'm getting into that too. But just bring me some romance. I love romance. I want old
Well,
school romance.
we got one more thing we're going to talk about before we end tonight's show. Last night, we were on the subject of interracial dating, and my guest co-host last night, African American female, she, talked about her experience. I talked about my interracial experience. Our other co-host, who he is a straight black man married to a black woman, but he had the interracial experience, and of course he's a bishop, so his take was different. But what is your take? And that'll be our last discussion tonight on interracial dating. Would you do it? Would you? I look, girl, you're a flight attendant. I know already. Look, I know. Look, you
Are
ain't got to tell me.
you
You ain't got to tell
are
me.
you ready?
Look, Terry, wait. I've
Okay,
worked
I
the flight.
just
Listen, I've worked the flight where I've said, "Damn, everything on here look good." I was like a kid in a candy store. You get what I'm saying? I was
okay.
like, everything on here
Oh,
look good. So now, what do you
it's
think?
funny you should say that. It is funny you keep telling me that. It's funny you should say that because I just had this conversation today. People will tell you that I'm attracted to white men. That, oh, Terry only dates the white boys. You know what I mean? Because lately that's who I was dating. But I had to set the record straight. It's not that, and there are people that like that, but I don't want to be that. Oh my God, I only date white boys. I only date brothers. Or I only date. We all bleed red. You know what I mean? And I date what I'm attracted to, vice versa. But the thing is, I was saying that the reason I date or I have dated so many white men is because of like you said, where I am. I'm in Paris. I'm in Europe. I'm working first class. You know what I mean? I'm meeting all kinds of people, but the circles that I run in at certain points, it's mostly white men that are approaching me. I don't. I'm not seeing the brothers, or if I am, not that they're intimidated to approach me, but they already think that I'm taking state or whatever. But the
Right,
circles that I run in, I'm meeting more white men than black because they're just not there. Not I'm not avoiding them when they are there, and it
right.
looks like that's all I'm dating because the last three relationships, four maybe relationships I've had, you know what I mean, have been with white guys. And
Oh,
neither here nor there, because again, that's what I told Terry Bradley. I never taught him color. You know what I mean? You don't
right,
see color. We all bleed red. The
right.
society will take good care of that, good or bad. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I don't I like what I like. And you remember we pretty boys back in the day, or you're light skinned, or you're this, or you're that. I like what I like. I like what I'm attracted to. I like good conversation. I like intelligent. I like tall. You know what I mean? If you're white, great. If you're black, great. If you're pink, purple, brown, treat me nice. That really shouldn't matter. But yeah, if I think if my close circle were to say it, then yeah, she only dates white men because the last few I've had. But again, it's just who I ran into, and I'm not out here trying to serial date. Art, you know what I mean? That's another thing.
Right.
I'm not out
Right.
here trying to serial date. I want a relationship. So
Yes.
the ones that I had were pretty long term, but I am open. Hello out there.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said,
No.
we've had a great show tonight. This has been interesting. Terry, I'm gonna do a full shot of you, show the fans, show the mask, and tell everybody how they can contact you if they want to get the fan and
All
mask
right.
combo. August is Small Black Business Month, and so tonight I'm supporting my girlfriend Terry Bell, who has come up with a great idea of custom-made masks and fans for you guys. Hold on, baby. I'm gonna put you on a full screen. All right, there you go. Yes, darling. Hold that fan up some more. Yes, baby. There you. Oh, yes. That's fabulous. That is beautiful. Terry, how can they get the mask and fan from you?
All right, everyone. So again, my company name is Runway 421. You can reach me at TB Stang. So phonetically, T is in Tom, B is in boy, SSTANG at yahoo.com. Hit me up on Facebook, Terry Bell. I'm also got another endeavor that I'm working on right now, ladies, as far as trying to do working with an organization called For Women uh, by women to offer self-defense classes, but we're working out the kinks because we're trying to do contact, but self-defense, how are you going to do that? But again, reach out to me on Facebook, TBSSTANG at Yahoo. Uh, Runway, again, the fans, I can do any material. If you wanted me to match your outfit, I do any mask that I make is going to have a matching fan. I will be posting more pictures soon. And yeah, Art can find me if he needs me.
Yay, very good. All right. Well, Terry, I think it's only befitting that you and I do the flight attendant arrival
Uh,
announcement.
all right.
Do you want to start? Do you still remember your descend announcement? Do you still remember it?
I was gonna I was gonna say, yeah, do you want front? Remember that? Do you want the front or the back?
Uh, well, you can be the lead flight attendant if you remember the
All
announcement.
righty.
I still remember it.
All righty.
So we're making our final approach. So what do we tell everybody, darling?
Oh, we're making our final?
Well, we're making our descent
All right.
final. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Ladies and
Ladies and
gentlemen.
gentlemen.
Oh, go ahead. There you go. Go right ahead.
Oh, you go first. Go. You go.
All right.
I'll follow. So wait, you're doing the descent and you want me to do what?
Well, no, you know what? I guess we should do the beginning of the flight so we can do safety demo together.
Yeah, let's just welcome them aboard. That's what's in front of it. And let's do
All right,
safety.
so you do the welcome aboard and I'll follow your lead. And we got 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. 8.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. I think I remember. I haven't done it in so long. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you aboard Runway 421, Flight 3562, Washington. At this time, and Terry, me, your lead flight attendant, we have Art in the back, would like to demonstrate our safety equipment for you at this time. Please give us your full attention for your safety and the safety of others around you. Yep.
All right.
I forgot, because now it's all automated.
I know it is. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, put on your mask. In case of air and cabin pressure loss, a mask will drop from the compartment above you. You are to put your mask on first and then assist those around you. Yes. In order to fasten your seatbelt, take the metal insert into the buckle, put it into the buckle. You are to pull on the strap tightly to release, pull up on the buckle. See, I'm such an old school flight attendant. We ain't have the yet. I had to do it myself. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft this evening. 8 emergency. There are 2 in the rear, 2 in the middle, and 2 in the front. Make sure you look in front and behind you for the nearest emergency exit that may be the closest to you. Please make sure all carry-on items are neatly put underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. If your items do not fit neatly in front of the seat in front of you, please let the flight attendants know and we'll assist you in putting them in the overhead bin. Smoking is not permitted on this aircraft, not in your seat nor the lavatory. That's how long I flew. We still remind people. See, I know.
Woo!
Yay, we did
I
it.
can't
We
believe
did
you
it.
remember. Open the
We
seatbelt.
can work a flight together. We can work a flight together. We could. We could do it, Terry. We could rock it. We
Oh,
could.
we can do it. This was art. So much fun. Thank you so much for
Yes,
inviting me.
it was. Oh, I love you, Terry. I really do. Do me a favor.
Love
Give
you.
everybody the email address again and how they can reach you for the fans.
The email address is tbsstang@yahoo.com. So that's like TB staying, everybody. tbsstang@yahoo.com. Again, I'm Terry Bell. You can reach me on Facebook. Get your fan, get your mask. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a ball.
Yay! Well, ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. In just a few moments, we will be landing for the evening. So please make sure your tray tables and seat backs are in their upright and locked position. Any carry-on luggage you may have brought on board this evening, we ask that it is securely stowed. The flight attendants will be coming through the aisles momentarily to collect any items you may want to discard of. On behalf of this entire crew, Terry Bell, our lead flight attendant, and yours truly, Chat Daddy, we'd like to thank you for flying the real Cat Daddy Airways tonight. Bye. How we doing, Terry, at the end? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. How you doing, Terry? Bye-bye.
Bye, Runway.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye. We love you guys.
No, that's
Have a great night. All right, hold on. Over and out. Oh, wait. Not yet. I got to end the show the way I'm supposed to do it now. It's the whole thing I do now. Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Wait, not yet. We got some more to do. There we go. Yay. All right.
Awesome.
And let's broadcast.